How do UFC champions from 7 years ago stack up against their 2025 competitors? There's been a lot of debate lately about whether today's champions are less skilled than those of the past. Some even argue that this could be the weakest era of UFC champions. So in this video, we're going to pit the champions from each division against each other in a head-to-head style matchup to see who comes out on top, as unbiasedly as possible, which might be difficult on this channel. At the end of this video, we're going to tally up the wins to determine which era was actually more skilled and answer the question, is MMA evolving or is it on the decline in terms of skill? Let's start off with flyweight Dylan. Our 2018 champion, Henry Cejudo versus Alexandre Pantoja going into 2025. Prime for prime.
Like 2018 Cejudo versus 2025 Pantoja. Pantoja 49-46.
It would be so hard for Henry Cejudo to win this fight.
Yeah.
Pantoja has, I would say, better striking and can match him in the wrestling.
I think Cejudo's like wrestling in terms of like UFC wrestling is overrated.
It's different.
Collegiate wrestling to UFC wrestling is totally different, you know? Like the way that Pantoja can scramble is just unreal. You can't keep this guy down.
Yeah. And he can keep up with strikers like Steve Erceg and Brandon Royval. So I don't see how Henry Cejudo would be able to get past the striking of Pantoja and even hold him down.
Well, and I think realistically the only way to beat Pantoja in 2025 is to finish him. And I don't see how Cejudo could finish him, and I don't really see how anyone in the current UFC could finish him outside of like Kai Kara-France or Manel Kape.
I think he's also still improving. You know, Pantoja is still... He's not young for the division, but he's still learning, I think.
Yeah, every fight he just looks better and better.
Exactly.
He's unreal. Like, yeah, I think Pantoja pretty easily beats Henry Cejudo here.
So, okay, we're giving the point to 2025.
Yes.
Let's move on to bantamweight. TJ Dillashaw was a 2018 champion, and 2025 Merab. TJ Dillashaw was a menace in his prime. So skilled. Obviously took the belt from Cody Garbrandt. But when you're going up against a force like Merab, who can sit on you for 5 rounds, take you down, hold you down, I think Dillashaw, he would definitely outclass him in the striking, like pretty much anyone would against Merab. But if Sean O'Malley can't keep him away with his 5'11" frame, I don't understand how TJ Dillashaw is going to stuff takedowns.
People aren't going to like this. I'm going 50-45 for Merab.
Yeah.
Or like 49-46. Like I think it plays out very similar to a Sean O'Malley fight, and I think Sean O'Malley at the point was probably better than TJ Dillashaw. I think against Merab he stacks up better just with his pure size.
Yeah, well, you look at someone like, you know, TJ Dillashaw's great, don't get me wrong, but even Peter Yan
got just dominated by Merab, and he's the most well-rounded UFC fighter or UFC bantamweight of all time.
Like, how is TJ Dillashaw gonna stand up against prime Merab?
Yeah,
you cannot get up from him. I think it might be, 49-46, but it wouldn't be close, I don't think.
No.
2 points for 2025 now. They're running away with it.
And we're moving on to featherweight. 2018 Max Holloway. Who knows if this is even Max Holloway's prime? Max Holloway's prime just feels like it's been for the last 10 years.
True.
Versus 2025 Ilia Topuria. A fight we saw 3 months ago.
Yeah. Holloway in 2018 was a good fighter. I don't know if he was as good as he is now, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's very even in terms of where he was 7 years ago to where he is now. And it's almost the same fighter. Like there's very little differences. He might even be more powerful now, which fares better in an Ilia Topuria matchup.
And I think he's progressed along with the game of MMA. He came up super young and early, and as he's gotten better, like 2018 till now, 100% he's gotten better.
Yeah.
But so has the game of MMA. It's evolved. And I think he's very hard to take down, but we've already seen this matchup play out. And I think a more inexperienced 2018 Max Holloway would lose maybe even faster.
Yeah, I think it's probably a second round KO for Topuria. Because it's not like it's no different. Like Holloway's chin was still the same throughout all of this.
Yeah, I guess maybe, Holloway's taken damage in the Volk fights.
But his chin's the same. He still hadn't been cracked up until
but it does accumulate over time. So
100%.
maybe now that I'm thinking about, maybe Max Holloway just has all the granite left on his chin still, and he can't get KO'd. But
he still would lose to Ilia.
It's Topuria. It's tough.
It's 3-0 2025.
Wow.
The old heads are flaming, and we have probably the biggest what if ever in the side of the UFC.
This is what made me think of this video.
I almost want to save this one for the end, but we'll talk about it now.
Lightweight. 2018 Khabib versus 2025 Makhachev.
You know what side I'm on.
Yeah. So Khabib, most dominant wrestler of all time. Makhachev, most well-rounded UFC fighter maybe of all time. Training together. But if they're pitted against each other in a head-to-head style matchup and Makhachev doesn't have the training camp with Khabib.
Exactly.
Khabib's doing his own thing. I think that there is no question Khabib could win a decision.
And here's the thing is Khabib at this point still has his dad as a coach. Islam has not Khabib's dad, doesn't have Khabib.
Yeah.
So Islam's going in on
Islam has Umar.
Yeah, like
little guy.
So it's really tough because I think that Khabib is more dominant than Islam, but Islam is more well-rounded and arguably the better fighter.
Yeah, but we've seen like striking just does not affect Khabib. He'll eat it and go for the takedown.
Yeah.
It does not matter.
And I'd say, you know what? Khabib probably has better wrestling than Islam. So it's a tough. I think that this plays out very similarly to maybe like Islam Volk fight, but maybe roles reverse where Khabib gets the win. I think that it would be a 48-47 win for Khabib.
Yeah, it'd be close.
I'm just trusting the dominance of Khabib, and like Khabib was one of the main reasons why Islam is here where he is today. You know, and just having that game plan for Islam would know the ins and outs of each other.
True. Yeah, that would be so interesting.
It would be a terrible fight, I think. I think this would be a terrible fight because they would just know so much about each other.
Yeah, that's a fair take. I think with Khabib, like he's gone up against strikers and it just doesn't matter. Like Makhachev's striking is really good, but when he gets you to the ground, like what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
he's still probably the strongest, most dominant wrestler, up there with Chimaev.
Yeah. So who are you going with there?
Oh yeah, I'll go with Khabib.
Okay, so that's 3-1.
3-1.
But it ain't gonna be 3-1 for long. Welterweight 2018 Colby Chaos Covington as the interim champion.
Yeah.
Up against 2025 Bilal Muhammad.
This is like almost a mirror matchup because Colby and Bilal both have crazy cardio and they both have great wrestling and their striking is subpar for the division.
I don't think it's that close.
Well, no, it like prime Colby Covington when he was facing like
Woodley
even Usman and Woodley, like he was a really, really, really dominant wrestler who had the best cardio in the division by far.
But I think that Bilal is a really, really, really good wrestler who probably might have slightly better striking.
Yeah.
Well, this one's tough. Like, they're very close.
I know. It's just tough because Colby, like, he's never won that belt officially.
Yeah.
So it's like you do rate him lower automatically. But the competition he had to go up against, like, he fought 3 of the best welterweights of all time. I think just being fair, you probably have to go Bilal.
Yeah, I would go a Bilal decision here.
Because of what Bilal's had to do to get to that title. And he's actually won that title. Whereas Colby, you know, he's gotten to that title, but every time he's fought an elite opponent, he has crumbled.
Yeah, I think I would lean a Bilal Muhammad decision here.
All right, so it's 4-1 for the current champions. So the only chance is to tie it.
Yeah, but it don't get easier.
All right, let's move on to middleweight. We have 2018 Whitaker versus 2025 Dricus.
This is a fight we've seen, but it wasn't 2018 Whitaker. It was 2022 or 2023.
Yeah, I think it's 2023.
Yeah, it was 2023.
Time flies right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to say. So Dricus, I mean, he's weird because you want to pick against him in every fight. Like a non-chinny Whitaker in 2018 who's won the belt and who hasn't been KO'd brutally by Adesanya and, you know, Dricus and, whatever, the works. Could he really take on Dricus? I don't know. This one's maybe 50-50 for me.
And here's the thing is, I've learned you can't count out Dricus.
No, I know.
He just gets it done every single time somehow, man.
Yeah, he is cheating.
Surely, like, it's just so weird because, like, this one is so tough.
Like, without a doubt, Whitaker is more skilled.
Yeah.
But Dricus has weird power. He has weird wrestling. He has weird strength. And we've seen, you know, Whitaker, if we go by what Whitaker says, he is the best version of himself in the last 2 years. And he lost to Dricus in the last 2 years.
Which means that you have to go.
You have to go Dricus.
In a decision. I don't think Dricus knocks out 2018 Whitaker.
No, I doubt it.
I think it would be a 48-47 decision. Like the thing is, like, we're saying that, like, these fights happen. We're saying that these are all 48-47 decisions.
They're all close.
They're all close because they're two champions versus champions.
Yeah, and also, we don't actually know how it could go. Whitaker could land his head kick combo.
Yeah.
And KO Dricus.
Yeah.
Dricus could submit him.
Yeah.
You just never know. All right, let's move on to light heavyweight, Dylan.
2018 John Jones versus 2025 Pereira.
Yikes. Pereira's cooked out of his mind.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Like 2018 Jones too. This isn't even like 2020 Jones where he was like decision win over Anthony Smith. Like this is like he's gonna kill you.
He's gonna kill you. Yeah. Pereira has no chance.
No.
The takedown defense from Pereira is decent, but against someone like John Jones, who's long, massive, reachy for the division, sets up his takedowns in weird ways, trips. Pereira just would stand absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
It would. Yeah, I would like to see the fight because, if Pereira lands something big.
Yeah, that's the thing.
John Jones is really hittable.
Well, and the thing is, like, this is also 2018 Jones. 2020 Jones is a different person, too. Like 2020 Jones, he wasn't getting the finishes the same way. So that's where that fight, Pereira realistically could win that fight because he'd have 5 rounds starting on the feet.
Yeah. And we've seen his gas tank. His gas tank is unreal.
But this is 2018 Jones. Like, this is Killer Jones.
I think you have to go John Jones.
Yeah, I think he'd likely submit him.
Yeah.
Just because you would want to, you wouldn't be okay with the decision win over Pereira just because there's that looming threat of the knockout. You would be trying to either get that ground and pound TKO or the submission.
That's fair. Let's move on to our last division of the video.
So it's 5-2.
5-2. Heavyweight DC versus Tom Aspinall. I might have to lean. First reaction, I might have to lean DC.
Ooh,
the wrestling. If he repeatedly takes down Tom Aspinall,
but Tom Aspinall, that black belt.
I know
he's good on the ground.
He has, but here's the thing: he has the shortest amount of time on his back in UFC history. I think it's 1 second when he fell down against Volkov and got right back up. So we have not seen Tom Aspinall on his back, and against a wrestler like DC, not a jiu-jitsu artist. DC doesn't have jiu-jitsu in his game locked down like that. He has wrestling. So Tom Aspinall, sure, he could defend against on his back, but when you think about the size of DC, it's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. Like I came into it thinking immediately, oh, Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, ooh.
Like Tom could get a finish on the feet for sure.
Yeah.
But DC he's not staying on the feet, right?
Yeah.
Immediately in the first 10 seconds, he's shooting.
Yeah, but here's the thing is, it's so tough.
It is tough. I don't know, like am I underrating DC or am I underrating Tom Aspinall? Like this could age badly if Tom Aspinall goes out there and beats John Jones and you're like, oh, well, of course he beat DC. And I guess this is DC in heavyweight, so he's later in his career, right? Slower, not as dominant against those really big boys. Tom Aspinall has a great shot.
Yeah, this one's tough. Oh, man. I think I'm still leaning Tom.
Leaning Tom? That's fair. I mean, Tom hasn't really lost in the UFC.
Yeah, and it's so tough, though, because the wrestling, true, we just haven't had to see Tom fight a wrestler.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go DC. I'll go DC on this one.
All right. You guys got to settle the score now in the comments. Who wins in the fight? 2018 champion DC or 2025 champion Tom Aspinall?
But I think we answered the question in this video.
Yeah.
The current champions, I think, are more skilled and more evolved in their game, or just more dominant.
Or maybe 2018 was just a bad year for champions.
True.
Should we do this with 2020?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But have we seen enough evolution in the game in 5 years?
It's a lot of different champions.
It's true.
2010? No, they'd clear.
2010, I looked at 2010.
Ooh, yikes. 2015? Ooh. All right, that is going to wrap it up for today. Make sure you guys go down in the comments. While you're down there, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.